actually sick of me.
We're live on YouTube. Yeah, there we go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto market. That includes majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we are going to discuss the latest on crypto price action following the overnight tech outage and the final day of the RNC causing volatility. We'll also discuss meme coins versus altcoins for the remainder of 2024, and we're going to play our new favorite segment, Top Dog, which is the weekly leaderboard prediction game that we kicked off last week. So that one's a lot of fun. Should mention that the show is brought to you in partnership with Uncaged. That's UNKJD, Uncaged Games. Easy. When people think about Uncaged, what exactly should they be paying attention to?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a turn-based casual soccer game, all on mobile right now, live in test flight on Apple and Android devices. So you can go in and play right now. It's still in its early infancy, so you can get in on the ground floor, playing the game itself. As you play the game, it gives you a full tutorial right when you dive in, player versus player matchups through matchmaking anytime you follow up on that, challenges and more. Field a team of players, get some all-stars, get some champions on your squad, and then you get a variety of different power-ups to still enjoy the game itself and get an edge against those online. Of course, I've been losing lately, sadly. It's gotten significantly more difficult as I started kicking some ass, and now they're bouncing back. So I'm not having as much fun when you lose. It's never fun when you lose. But on top of this, like, this team is just stacked. Huge VC backing, which is great for continued development efforts. And the team has some experience from Playtika, Disney, Cody, and much more. So they're very familiar with game loops, very familiar with development efforts, especially on the mobile front, which is a huge, huge win. They've been building for 2 years this December, 3 years this December, which is crazy to see, especially in this space. Have not given up, have not taken any slowdown, which is awesome. And you can even see, if you're watching on the YouTube, a variety of different players that they have as well, and even utilizing the MBS token. So they just dropped a massive thread that's well worth the read. And as you stake that MBS token, new locker room rewards for your players and team, converting that to gems for flexible token use, gems and other in-game currency, and you can even pick some up on the on-chain market through DEXs and more right on the Solana blockchain. So if you're trading meme coins, it might be time to start taking a look at some of these quote utility tokens, especially for the gaming ecosystem, because I think gaming is going to absolutely dominate in this run.
Absolutely. And you can check out uncaged.games/soccer. That's UNKJD.games/soccer. And make sure you give them a follow on Twitter. That's at Uncaged Games. That's at UNKJD Games. Give them a follow on X platform on Twitter. I'm sure Clemente has their handle pinned if you are listening on Twitter Spaces or on X platform video. Look, we got a lot to talk about today. We left a lot on the call sheet yesterday because of how in-depth we got with our polymarket bets, which I'm, incredibly mad that I did not participate in. I truly wanted to. After we spoke about it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to totally do it. And then just got blindsided by obligations and never did. And then I saw that we like 2x'd the other bet for Democratic nominee, which was a beautiful bet. I feel like we talked about oh my God, look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just listening, Clemente has pulled up Polymarket and is showing it on screen. Yesterday, this was at what, 6-7%?
6%.
So we over 2x'd it.
It was actually even slightly higher yesterday. I think it got up to
20.
Yeah, it got up to 20
Yeah,
cents.
but this also coincided with the news that Obama is not too keen on the current president. So
and Joe Biden officially announcing he's not backing Kamala as the de facto Dem nom, saying he's open for a open convention for a Democratic nom if he steps down.
Which is wild. So, easy. Literally, I think you are somehow influencing the U.S. presidential election. It's weird to say. I have to say, it's weird to say, but you have been spookily correct on this within a 24-hour prediction. So keep them coming.
I'm just saying, I got some insider info yesterday after the fact. Some insider info after the fact. Someone hit me up that does a little PR in the media space and was like, by this weekend, it's 100% he's gone. 100%.
Yes, I think so. He's gonna be gone on the weekend, so the markets don't tank on the news. I think it'll be a Saturday or Sunday news event for sure.
I don't think the market tanks at all. I think the market actually sends on the news, like traditional markets, just because it's basically shaping for a Republican candidate to have an even stronger case. If you look at the poly market too, Biden's odds of dropping out surged to 88%, which was like a 60% move yesterday as well. which is great to see from like a betting standpoint. I'm saying like purely just gamba standpoint. It's really yeah, some really strong price action yesterday on the lows here from 50 up to 80. So like the overall market here, if you're trading any of this stuff, we were spot on yesterday, which just feels good. You know, like it's always good to have a win. And then I saw Pio and Nick yesterday. We were doing some work together, and me and Pio were both like, dude, we haven't deposited to this thing yet. Like, what are we doing? Like, we talk about it every
literally
day.
takes 2 seconds. It literally takes 2 seconds, and
just need
I'm
to do it.
sure PO some way. You just need the Matic for the gas, and then USDC. One of your wallets will have some USDC littered with some money. Just deposit it. It takes literally less than 2 minutes, and then off you go, off to the races.
I'm so mad that I haven't placed any of these bets that we've talked about because they've all felt like easy bets, and they've all, if I had placed, I think I'd be up like a 2 or a 3x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take $1,000 US and dump it into Polymarket, and we'll start placing these bets. I just have been sidelined or blindsided, I should say, every single time we get out of the show and haven't had a minute to press the buttons. But it feels like it's just so early with this stuff, and it feels like not even the whole crypto space understands what's going on over there. And it's like, dude, this is something that will actually attract retail people in the future.
Well, Pio, did you know that they had an ad in the Wall Street Journal?
There you go. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, they had an, I want to say it was 2 months ago, because after we talked about them pretty heavily, I went like kind of in depth to like, one of the nice things about Twitter is the affiliate badge. You can actually see everyone who like works at a company that's on Twitter. So I just went through and was like looking at their various Twitters. Most of them are engineers over there. There's 2 marketing people. And that's how I saw the Wall Street Journal ad. And I was like, oh shit, this is already a lot bigger than we thought. If they have a full page ad in the Wall Street Journal, I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. Posted 3 to 4 days ago. So that caught me completely off guard. Like just literally some random person on a plane chopping it up in the paper, reading about poly markets. But they're also so quick to add lines, like opportunities for this. CrowdStrike outage fixed by Friday night, 57% chance. I would hammer that right now. Like I would absolutely hammer that.
We'll talk about it later in the show, and we'll actually play some of the bets, and that sounds good. I also love this comment from Null, repping a Bored Ape. He said, "All in Pod loves referencing Polymarket. Kind of funny how it's got into mainstream while being crypto native. It's because crypto things will become mainstream left and right, just like the internet did, because the crypto technology on the back end is better than the previous technology. What's been missing has just been, platforms and products that have true product market fit and entrepreneurs that can drive those all the way home without suddenly getting distracted and angling for an exit scam and then quitting. So, that's not going to happen with Polymarket. And so expect a lot. I've been saying this thing's going to go public in the next half decade. So definitely pretty cool stuff. Why don't we get into the weather report here? Signal, please take it away.
Let's take it away for the last day of the week. It's Friday, July 19th. Looking at the crypto roundup, most coins are slightly down on the day, with Bitcoin dropping to 64.5K and Ethereum down to 3,400. Solana, however, doing incredibly well. That's actually almost up 2% against the odds to $164. The largest mover, among the top 100 coins was WorldCoin. That is down over 10% to 25 billion FDV. Over the past 24 hours, top 3 stories. Well, firstly, it's a bad day to be a Windows customer. Global tech outages caused critical infrastructure to fail worldwide. The outages affected Microsoft computers and have been attributed to cybersecurity company CrowdStrike. While many airports have actually grounded their flights, the NASDAQ is all okay. The systems are up and fully operational for the market open later today. Secondly, up on Greyscale, they launched a decentralized AI fund with holdings including Near Protocol, shout out to Easy, Filecoin, shout out to Nick, Render, LifePay, and Bitansol. The fund is available to accredited investors only, and the holdings can change over time. And then lastly, finally, Animoca Brands has partners with Hong Kong-based Standard Chartered Bank to participate in their digital asset sandbox. That's what it's being used for right now. The digital asset sandbox is a safe space for institutions to test and pre-launch products while maintaining regulatory compliance. That is all for the weather report. It is back to you folks in the studio.
That AI fund, I don't know. I don't want to buy that. I'm good on that. That's pretty interesting stuff, though, from Grayscale. I mean, they just need more products, right? They're on the rebound, and they've seen the power of keeping their fees high in the Bitcoin ETF and soon to be Ethereum ETF. They're rolling with their momentum, and they're like, yeah, we'll launch a new product. Easy.
I think that this fund cooks. I think this fund cooks. I think the fund does really well. like really well. I like some of the tokens in this. Tau is interesting. Some of the weighted discrepancy I wish was slightly adjusted. I love the render play, and I've been long near for a little while now. So I think that personally, selfishly, good for my bags. Like, but I think from an AI standpoint, this makes a lot of sense, especially with Near partnering with NVIDIA and being at the NVIDIA conference. Yeah, this chart is beautiful, dude. That 1 month is just incredible.
Signal, you were going to say something?
I was going to say, given Grayscale's previous fees, the fees on that would massively eat into your returns. It's like good to see what they have in there, but if you want to have exposure to them, it's just more interesting to hold, like to not to go through a Grayscale fund, even though it might be tax inefficient. So all your returns over the years will just be compounded away because of their fees, literally. So, but it's interesting to see them coming out with that. Maybe that's somewhere they can win over the Ethereum versus Bitcoin ETFs. At least they've got their own fund. I was going to say on one of the stories, Animoca Brands with Standard Charter as a safe space now for institutions to be able to sort of test out their tokens before pre-launch is very interesting. It almost feels like they've completely gone away from what their 2021 focus was where we were all buying digital land to be able to, I don't know what we were going to do in there, but we all had digital land for a while. And now they're partnering with giants, institutional giants, as a sort of an actual sandbox for them to be able to test pre-tokens and any other digital assets they may want to launch in the future. This is very interesting. It's a good move for Sandbox to move in this direction.
So Sandbox is a Animoca Brands product? I didn't process that.
Animoca Brands, I believe, bought Sandbox, or they either bought them or are heavily invested in them. And Animoca has partnered with Standard Charter, and they're going to be using Sandbox as the sort of the platform for if an institution wants to test something in literally a sandbox environment. That's what Sandbox will be used for now. So it's just interesting to see the platform Sandbox moving away from what was previously digital land, which had pretty much no use, let's say, to now partnering with institutions.
Sandboxes. I think, well, A, Sandbox is owned by Animoca Brands, and B, this is a sandbox, not the sandbox. So they gotta work.
Oh, I thought it was the Sandbox. Sorry, my bad.
Well, Signal, I understand why you thought that, because in that article, it looked like the word sandbox was presented in two different ways. It was presented with a capital S and with a lowercase s, assuming the capital S.
It was a capital S that made me think it was Sandbox, digital land sandbox, but they actually mean, okay, forget everything I've said.
Yeah,
we're back to just digital land.
And we don't know, and it quite frankly doesn't really matter that much. So we'll see how it develops over time. Real quick hitter, tech outages. So Windows PCs today experienced the blue screen of death. Outages worldwide causing critical infrastructure to grind to a halt. Multiple airlines grounded flights, and North American stock indices were reported incorrectly or releasing incorrect information. Microsoft announced it has fixed the underlying issue. The NASDAQ announced it is fully operational for market open. I think the funniest part about this were the memes, because some people were making memes like, oh, I started at Microsoft today, how's everybody doing? And just like, that's like a funny little joke to make. And then also someone just posted like a Mac laptop and was like, if this is your laptop, then you have to go to work today. So yeah, I mean, hey, shout out to you. That's pretty, that's a good meme right there. Like, this guy's just implying that today's his first day at CrowdStrike, who is responsible for this. But anyway, moving on, we have Grayscale's decentralized AI fund. We just kind of touched on it. Greyscale of Digital Currency Group is launching this AI fund. It's quoted as saying, Grayscale Decentralized AI Fund is one of the first securities solely invested in and deriving value from the price of native tokens of decentralized AI protocols. Decentralized AI refers to the integration of artificial intelligence and blockchain technology. So really, this is, and a commenter, we have to get a fact check on this, but a commenter, I want to shout them out by name, Overarch, longtime listener. I'm very familiar with Overarch from reading the comments. Grayscale changed their fee on the Ethereum ETF to the same fee as BlackRock at 0.25 I don't know if that's correct, but if that is correct, that would imply that Digital Currency Group and Greyscale are in a significantly stronger financial position than they were 1 year ago. It also should be noted that they've returned 93% of the funds that were compromised through the FTX debacle to users of Gemini Earn, if you guys are all familiar with that. And if they did lower the fee on the Ethereum ETF, then that would imply that they're in a much stronger place. And here they are launching a new fund, which would imply that there's some momentum there, and you should expect Grayscale to stick around for a little bit. I would not buy the fund, because if you're watching this show, you don't need to buy a Grayscale fund for those like 5 tokens. If you wanted those tokens, you could just go on like Coinbase or whatever platform, Kraken, wherever you buy your tokens, and you could just buy the individual assets. I think Greeny was in the audience pointing that out. That's a pretty easy one. Yeah, and Clemente has the Ethereum ETF pricing, the fee pricing chart pulled up right now. We don't have to go over this again. Really where we're at now is we're just waiting for this ETF to go live next week so that we can dig in to the flows, because that's really juicy stuff and that's interesting. All the ETH people out there, I kind of felt like people were uneasy yesterday. I have a spoiler for you guys. I'm going to spoil the end of the movie. The ETF's going to be good for ETH and the price is going to go up. So don't worry, everybody. The price is going to go up. Clemente, you were going to say something?
I was going to say Solana looks juicy right now. Are you kidding me? It's outperforming ETH by 2x. What are we doing here? I'm getting all my money off ETH. What are we? It looks phenomenal. Easy. Anything to add here? It's up 18% in the last 7 days. What's going
there to
on,
add, dude? Higher. Like, it's that simple. Like, higher. Like,
why didn't you buy it at 130 a few days ago then, Clemente?
I do have it. I have plenty of Solana, but I just have all this blast ETH. I've been trying to bridge it off the last 2 days, and I have to pay like $400 in fees. And
dude, message me and I'll give you the site to do it.
I did message you. Message you.
Which one are you using? Orbiter?
I used Orbiter. There's like dude, there's some weird ass bridges.
Just use side shifts. We'll dive into it. We can
side
just use side
shifts.
Is
really, really good.
We'll just do
side
shifts.
Really
That's
good.
The best one, and it's like a 0.5% fee, not even. So that one's great. But I mean, dude, the Solana stuff right now is like a no-brainer. Like a no-brainer. I think we're like, I'm just saying, I said 170 was the target. Like, that's where we're going. Clear break over that 146. We go up to 170. The chart's playing out how the chart's playing out. TA is real. TA is very real. No matter what OSF and Mando say, we're going higher. We break out over 170, clear path to 200. Like, it's also like right now, the ETH ETF approval causes some stagnant price action, of course. We haven't gotten a Solana approval yet. We have applications in. The boat's loading up, backing up, sitting in the bay, ready to take off. I don't know, man. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed since $8.60. It's only gotten better.
It's only gotten better. I also just love the idea of Clemente dumping all of his Ethereum literally 3 business days before the Ethereum ETF goes live. That's a good idea. That's what you should do. And when Ethereum's underperformed this cycle and is due to outperform. Easy, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, Clemente, maybe just like sit on your hands, like delete the wallet from the desktop, just like forget it's there for like the next 3 months.
I haven't. I've been sitting on my hands. I just keep getting anti-Ethereum propaganda on my feed.
Yeah, because it's the mainstream liberal blockchain, dude. Like, we know this.
The bigger concept here is that Twitter has no value to investing at all. And like if you're looking at Twitter and then making investing decisions based on that, you're just not going to get anywhere. If you did, then all the people on Twitter would be rich and would be renting houses in the Hamptons to us. So that's like the thing that you have to keep in mind. But definitely sell your your Ethereum 3 business days before the Ethereum ETF goes live. That sounds like a good idea. Moving on to really quick. So what we're going to talk about now is some quick quotes from Mark Cuban that were like giga bullish for Bitcoin, which was pretty interesting. And then we'll move on to some quick hitters like the TON, the TON blockchain, launching a Bitcoin bridge. That's going to be an interesting one to talk about. And then a little bit about meme coins being the new altcoins. So real quick, entrepreneur Mark Cuban tweeted that the emergence of Silicon Valley support for Donald Trump is a Bitcoin play because he will make it way easier to operate a crypto business due to the regulatory changes at the SEC. We happen to actually be out to dinner with a crypto entrepreneur last night who is a well-known or the entrepreneur of a well-known crypto platform, and it was very interesting to hear his perspective on what it's like to operate a crypto-focused company right now versus what it could be like with a Donald Trump type candidate in charge of the presidency. Some additional commentary from Mark Cuban added to the Bitcoin price, specifically about the price here. He said, how high can the price go? Well, it can go way higher than you think. Remember, the market for Bitcoin is global, and the supply has a final amount of 21 million Bitcoins with unlimited fractionalization. So that's a pretty powerful quote from Mark Cuban, which has obviously been said by other people before, but just hearing him reiterate it. And really the part that I think a lot of people don't think about is the global nature of Bitcoin and the fact that it isn't tethered to any individual country or jurisdiction. Really, really important to keep that in mind. And then obviously the finality of it, the fact that there's only 21 million is really important. Moving on, you should keep that keep in mind as you consider, because if there is geopolitical uncertainty and the decline of the dollar as the reserve currency, then Bitcoin becomes a safe haven globally, which means that Bitcoin could be what countries and all of us look to buy as a means to protect our savings. So he's talking about the use case of Bitcoin, which is a store of value asset for the long term that anybody in the world can buy and is natively fractional. So Cuban coming through with some heavy, Bitcoin commentary there. Clemente?
Yeah, I was actually going to say, Pio, I've been consuming a lot of your like Bitcoin propaganda podcasts. They're phenomenal. They're great. I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin now. I'm underexposed, I feel like, yeah, or whatever it is, the Bitcoin podcast. They're very bullish on Bitcoin. I'm on board the Bitcoin train now. So yeah, Mark Cuban, I think, is also
glad you figured it out, buddy. That's like saying I'm aboard the water train. Like, I think you should drink water. I totally think you should. I'm aboard the sky is blue train. I'm glad you got there, buddy. Glad you got there.
It's interesting because I was listening to Beach Expect the other day, and he played a clip from, it was Larry Fink talking about Bitcoin and how it has a, it's like, the way he was talking about it in a narrative, obviously talks about it as digital gold, but he was also talking about it in a context of how it's a sort of a lighthouse for hope, that if the world has gone wrong, you want to be in Bitcoin, which I thought was a really weird way of putting things. But it's like everyone keeps thinking about how good it will be for our bags if Trump becomes president. But you also have to know that what he did before was not very good for the world. A lot of people disagreed with some of his policies. So you're looking at a place where it's almost being, I don't think Larry's trying to be political with Bitcoin, but it's almost as if he's saying, like, look, if the Republican candidate actually goes on to win, you might lose hope. And if you lose hope, Bitcoin is where you want to be parking your money and your wealth and protecting it. So I think like the narrative of how Bitcoin is being positioned, at least in the US and globally, as sort of this safe haven if there's no hope in the world, is quite interesting, because I think that's how a lot of people are going to feel if Trump does become president, that there's no hope and the world is going to a bad place.
Well,
I thought that was super interesting.
We dove into this very comment, Sig, and I actually tweeted about it too, but we dove into it. I think it must have been on the day this week that you weren't on. Maybe it was on Wednesday, but it was more that I think people, myself included, misinterpreted what he said. And what he was actually talking more about is that Bitcoin is not a play for hope for our leaders to not debase the currency anymore, I think is the biggest thing, because there is no hope for that. They are going to debase the currency. That is the one thing that is absolutely for certain. And that's why Bitcoin is so important. We're going to move on from this right now to the TON blockchain. But I quickly want to point out, people have some funny ass comments right now, like really, really funny comments. And I just want to give them a little bit of, shine right now. So we got Ron Man with a great comment. He said, Clemente, I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin. 7/19/2024. That is an iconic quote. I think people are going to go down. That's going to go down in history. Clemente with the insane insight right here on the 19th of July, 2024. Remember where you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Remember where you were when Clemente said this incredibly insightful thing of being bullish on Bitcoin, summer 2024, a few months after the Bitcoin halving. That really was incredible, Clemente. That was an incredible comment. We got Ray, our quant, saying President Awesome is not on the water train. This is an inside joke. If you were watching this show when the president of Karate Combat came on and declared that he doesn't drink water, which is obviously an interesting comment from a human being to say that they don't drink water. That's definitely interesting. And then we got Kashmir, who definitely, he can have comments that come off a little bit edgy sometimes, but he said Clemente is bullish on Bitcoin after a year of it being up, also weighing in on the very deep insight there. Pretty funny stuff. So Mark Cuban with a very interesting public trance. We got Null right here saying, just buy $1 frickin' dollar, Clemente, July 19, 2024. I like people making things up about what Clemente said. So look, real quick, moving on to the TON blockchain, launching a Bitcoin bridge. Easy. What's the deal here? What do we need to know about this?
To be honest with you, the more I was looking into it, I don't know how bullish I am on it. Yeah, it can bring some liquidity to it. It can make some things a little bit easier, but it's called Teleport. So it's like a seamless way to bring Bitcoin utility to TON. I don't know if we've seen it done on Sol, especially with meme coins. The more interesting thing is that the TON Teleport bridge is actually from the TON Foundation. So it's like an official bridge. They're verifying Bitcoin block space directly on TON. Other than that, though, I'm not too impressed, as bad as I guess it sounds. It's more like liquidity events, because now it's pretty easy to get liquidity over there. But I still don't really see a ton of the use cases. Do we get Bitcoin memes? It's been hard enough to get Bitcoiners to want to even look at ETH or Sol, let alone now a true altcoin in Telegram. The one thing that makes me the most bullish on TON, though, is the founder just aggressively bull posts about Telegram and TON, which is great. He's also a little weird. He just posts a bunch of shirtless workout pictures. So it's a rather interesting guy. Not bald, so that is one negative for him. But yeah, it's called Teleport. We've seen this done on a couple other chains. We'll see what really happens with it. I don't think it's I don't want to say it's a nothing burger, but I don't know if it's a huge event that's going to surge liquidity into TON. TON, though, does have up and to the right only action from new wallets and users and transactions. So all in all, that's good, but I don't think this Bitcoin stuff is a major mover for TON.
And we should bring up some quick breaking news. So Joe Biden's family has begun discussing his exit plan from the 2024 presidential race. This is reported by NBC News. The president's family members have discussed how he would want to end his re-election bid on his own timing and with a carefully calculated plan in place. So he's 100% out, ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't noticed. And so what's the how bad did we fuck this up with Poly Market? How bad?
Yes is up to 13.5 cents. On Dem Nam, Kamala still at 62. Biden to drop out is still at 80, now 88. So that is surging at the current moment, up 5 cents, which surging, sure. On the larger graph, it looks like it's going crazy. But others, still my big bet. I think others still at 13 cents is such a buy. Such a buy.
You think it goes to a quarter?
Yeah, 25 cents. It was literally the number in my head.
It has to now because easy what you said at the show that if Biden is not supporting Kamala, come on, how can the current president not support their VP? So who else on that list is another?
Yeah, I don't think it's not hey, I'm not supporting her. She's not the right candidate. I think it's that he stated he's open for a DNC convention. So multiple, I think the DNC in the convention, because we had the RNC last night, I think the DNC convention, which is happening in the near future here, will be more about potential candidates and speaking there versus just some high-level talks.
What a shit show. So moving on to some other commentary here. Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, has reportedly changed his tune on Bitcoin, which is hilarious. If you are a Bitcoiner, you know about the storied, nearly decade-long history of Jamie Dimon being hilarious about Bitcoin, and quite frankly, just doing literal criminal things that JP Morgan got fined for to the tune of billions. So this is hilarious. Jamie Dimon talking about, Donald Trump talking about Jamie Dimon being the Treasury Secretary, which is wild. That is bringing a swamp creature into the swamp. So, Trump talks about draining the swamp. This is a direct example of bringing a swamp creature into the swamp. I do not back this, but what are you going to do? Politicians are going to politic. You know what I mean? Clemente, it looks like you wanted to say something.
Yeah, real quick before Signal, I was just gonna say, I mean, it's not a coincidence. Jamie Dimon, one of the richest men in the world, and myself both bullish on Bitcoin in the same week. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Things are turning around for Bitcoin. That's all I'll say.
You got it, Clemente. You're onto it. Sig, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it almost feels like there's a WhatsApp group between them. Like, guys, are we bullish on Bitcoin? Okay, I'll come out on Tuesday, Larry. Jamie's like, I'll do Thursday because I'm busy on Wednesday. And then Mark's like, when do I get to say something? Oh, you can do Wednesday, Mark. It's pretty much all in the same timeline. It really feels like, and then Clemente somehow got into that group. I don't know how, but somehow he got into that group. But like, it really feels it's like a coordinated position that they're all taking at the same time around this time for crypto. I don't know. It feels kind of weird when they're not bullish on it. They're all not bullish on it on the same time. But it definitely feels like the wheels are turning and they're all coming out public. All the people who previously didn't like it are now coming out publicly saying that they are, pretty much because they have got their positions now. Now they're positioned for the bull run.
Absolutely. And a very funny comment from Null right here, commenting Michael Saylor for Fed chair. But yeah, Sig, you are spot on. This stuff is absolutely coordinated, obviously. Real quick, Robinhood explores additional Bitcoin integration and tokenization of real world assets, RWAs. So you're seeing Robinhood now continue to develop in the crypto area, which is pretty cool to see. Robinhood stock up 2x on the year. I called it early this year. Didn't really have any notable position, and buying crypto outperformed it. So it's not like anybody missed out on anything, but if people were interested in trading stocks or investing in stocks that were going to go up, it felt like Robinhood would because of the crypto component to them, and it was the case. Real quick, so MIGGLES meme coin, this is the Coinbase base meme coin, soared as Coinbase announced a remix campaign surrounding their MIGGLES cat NFT mint. So what is happening here on base with Coinbase? And I feel like this was obvious that it was going to do well.
Such a no-brainer. I talked about it yesterday too, and I even posted during the show yesterday about this. It was at 25 million, now up to 90. I had posted Coinbase IPO back to IPO prices. I posted MIGGLES no-brainer because it's a Coinbase Cabal coin. Like, it's the official cat of Coinbase. Cat coin meta is red hot right now with things like PopCat and Mog. This was probably the easiest trade, and this was an easier trade than Polymarket by far. They literally released assets for anybody to make their own memes through video assets. From the official Coinbase account, you could mint the NFT. They dropped a commercial with MIGGLES talking about onboarding users to crypto. Like, I don't know why I didn't buy this stupid thing. I'm so upset with myself. I feel like Clemente just paper trading recently. Like, I'm on an absolute bender with the heat from paper trades.
Easy. So did Coinbase launch this thing?
No. So the person who launched this, the dev, sold day one, sold the first day. Got CTO'd, so community takeover. There was a rumor going around that the community takeover was by a Coinbase intern, which I don't believe is the case. However, I would be even more bullish if that's the case, because then they'd most likely go to jail and they wouldn't be able to sell their large position. So that would be very bullish, very interesting. But I don't think it's actually the Coinbase intern. I just think it's purely like, dude, base meme coins are their own beast in every capacity. Like, you look at Bald, which was market made with $350 million and rumors circulating that it was Brian Armstrong testing the capacity of the base network. Then you look at something like Brett, which is held by 80% of the team, 80% of the tokens held by the team, and nobody seems to give a shit. This thing's sitting at a 90 million market cap. It's going to 250 million probably by Monday. Like, at the rate it's
you're
moving,
still bullish at 90.
1000%.
Are you going to buy
1000%? No.
Okay.
No. Just because, like, I just don't want to. Right now, my entire focus is like, truthfully, I'm way more interested in getting money onto Polymarket and finally taking some time today to do so.
Yeah.
Because I find it significantly more fun. Like, that is way more fun, in my opinion, to like look at that stuff, analyze some of those things. I think you're going to see some ebbs and flows around the 100 million market cap for this meme coin because it's a big mental number, and like psychology is a big part of this space. And I think a lot of people will take profit there. Like, it sat at 3 million before the commercial, and then ran to 10, traded a little flat, and now has since just been up only because of the same speculation and these rumors. I think just because of that, it'll slow. But all in all, I don't think there's any path where this doesn't go to 250 million. And to me, is it worth the 2.6x? Probably. But do I want to now have to monitor another chain at the moment when like there's still enough volume and things going around where I can just focus on Solana meme coins in poly market. Like I've really shifted my focus to like hone in on one thing lately. And I think that's something that a lot of people can benefit from is like, don't spread yourself too thin because there's 100Xs every day in every single vertical. Like there was a MIGGLES Solana meme coin that ran to 13 million and I traded that instead and did well because I got in at like 60K, you know? So like there's alternative ways to still make similar trades and do perfectly well. I know it's not a gamble. Yeah, you're right. It's shielded by Coinbase. They gave you the assets to go and make the memes. Like it's power of the memes. It's an attention economy. If Coinbase drops another MIGGLES commercial, 500 million, no hesitation. Like that's the thing. There's nothing on base. There's nothing for anybody to go and buy. Like that's the hard part about it is like it is the meme coin of base right now. Like you can argue bread is. There's not a single person in this entire planet that I could look at, gun to my head, find me a person who owns Brett, I would die. Like that's the thing. Versus like MIGGLES,
You don't know anybody that owns Brett.
I
Not a
own
single
Brett.
goddamn
I've got
person.
some Brett. I've got some
still
Brett.
don't know anyone. Still don't know anyone. So that's
But
the hard
easy
part. Though,
question
is
for
like
you.
no one talks about Brett. Nobody.
But
MIGGLES is
easy.
literally Coinbase's cat.
Easy. I got a question for you. So you know how everyone is saying when ETH sends, all the memes on ETH will send as well. Do you think if Coinbase sends to the predictions you were talking about earlier in the show, we see the Coinbase meme send?
No, two totally separate entities. You're looking more at a traditional finance thing. Coinbase, in my opinion, is still a larger play to like the traditional equity market and then Coinbase and then a crypto markets. So like Coinbase has a lot of execution risk purely from just macro economy standpoints. But if Coinbase sends, you're not going to see base send because that's still not an influx of volume. If anything, base sends on the back of ETH sending. That's purely because it's what it uses for gas in the transaction layer. So it's a byproduct of ETH. Same with Blast. ETH sends, I think Blast sends. I'm still dead set Blast and that TVL goes to 4 bill eventually. Like maybe it takes who knows how long. But I think just in general, the bigger thing here is if memes send, MIGGLES send. But the MIGGLES coin has execution risk. If Coinbase doesn't post anything else about MIGGLES, it will fall off a cliff. It will be downtrend only. The thing though is
Coinbase want that? Like, don't they not want a weird user experience like that?
that's where I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't think Coinbase is going to drop one commercial and not have MIGGLES pop up throughout any future ads. People have randomly fallen in love with this ugly Maine Coon cat. You know what I mean? Like this thing's not a pretty looking cat. And I think that's what's even better is we've seen all these cat and dog meme coins where people are like, oh, that's a cute dog. Like this thing's kind of fucking ugly. And I think that makes it that much better. Like I look at this cat, it's got gorgeous blue eyes, but this thing looks like it ran into a wall. Like if a pug was a cat, this is what it would look like. And that's where I'm like,
100%.
damn, dude. And they've already like that's the thing is look at this ad. They're handing you the memes. And this whole thing is about meme coins. They're giving you the memes. Like, and the whole intent of this, and one of the best ads I've seen, by the way, is this whole thing is about how MIGGLES the cat and the owner of the cat didn't get any capital and any return on this, and everyone else profited off the back of it. Like the underlying message is actually kind of cool. It's a right of ownership, and that's the whole benefit of Web3 is like owning your assets. And this is the cool part is like MIGGLE is the own your assets cat, and that to me is really interesting. And I think that the whole message behind it is like really powerful. So I'm probably gonna buy fucking MIGGLES. God damn it.
Well, it's at 90 million. It's high, but at the same time, like it's not $1 billion. So we'll have to see how it plays out. It's very, I mean, it is fascinating the way that Coinbase needs products on their blockchain and they're pushing this one. So who knows? It's weird to launch a meme coin as like a publicly traded company, because then what if people buy it and it goes down? That's like a bad user experience. But then by the same token, they're probably thinking the only people that buy this are crypto native people. And so those people are used to volatility. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Since we're talking about meme coins, moving on to basically whether meme coins are the altcoins of this cycle, meaning with the majors pumping again, are we going to see meme coins continue to be the quote beta play, outperforming altcoins? Clemente and Ray specified other than Solana, but there's a lot of people that believe that Bonk and Whiff will outperform Solana. So essentially treating meme coins like a levered bet on the majors, as many of them are calling for a meme coin super cycle and a quote end to utility coins. So I guess what is more likely to outperform, meme coins versus altcoins, is the move this cycle
It's
just to
meme
go full degen. Yeah, just meme coins all the way.
Well, we're overcomplicating this. People are like Clemente and Ray are asking, are meme coins this like pseudo bet? Meme coins are the NFTs of this cycle. Like, that's how I look at it. Extreme volatility, absurd amounts of capital, and exorbitant price action with market caps that make 0 sense. And I think that's the thing that we're going to see more of. This entire cycle will be meme coins. It's too easy to get involved in them. We just saw Dex Screener launch their mobile app called Moonshot, and it's like a pump fund competitor. You can use Apple Pay to load up your Moonshot wallet on mobile. That's unheard of. It is the easiest onboarding experience I've ever gotten into. I woke up at like 5:30 this morning, just couldn't sleep, and just started diving into a bunch of stuff I've been like putting off from like a research standpoint. Downloaded the Moonshot app, and I can literally use a credit card to go and buy a meme coin in as simple as 2 side clicks of my phone. I was like, this is terrifyingly easy, and meme coins make significantly more sense to a wider market than an NFT. And on top of it, people don't want to buy a Bitcoin, like the quote retail investors, at 65K when it's 150K. The concept of fractionalized Bitcoins is extremely confusing to retail, especially like an older generation. And then a younger generation doesn't want slow returns. So you're on both major ends of this where a meme coin makes more sense. If I showed my mom MIGGLES, she'd be like, that's a cute cat. And that in itself is like, okay, maybe we pick up some MIGGLES. You know, like kids, Zoomers, young people see meme coins and they see 1000x opportunity where they can then go tell their boss to pound sand when they make generational wealth. And that's literally their dream right now, is clicking buttons on the internet and making enough money that they can literally quit their job and get the hell out of here. And that to me is like the entire thesis for meme coins. And I think meme coins have significantly more staying power. It's way easier to get in. Holder bases ramp at a stupid rate because you literally need $1 to get involved. And memes rule the entire attention economy. And shout out to Cat behind me.
So easy. Why, on that note, then why are you buying things like you have a lot of altcoin exposure in general versus like you don't really hold any meme coins long term, right?
No, God, no. Like, I'm a totally separate trader than a lot of people. Some people want to believe in something with meme coins. I don't give a shit. I'll take a 2 to 3x and get the hell out of it. I don't want to bag hold this. I've seen these coins go to 0 so quickly that I'm all set. Like, I've seen so many do it. I don't need 100x. That's the difference. Like,
yeah,
I
but
don't
even
need
like MOG, for example, you have high conviction on that, right? And it's like 700 mil. Why are you buying that? Why are you not buying that versus like, and then you're just stacking near, right? And you're like, okay, I can get a 2 to 3x out of a ton.
Downside risk is significantly higher over a longer timeline. Like those bags I'm buying of these altcoins, I feel comfortable putting them on a ledger and not looking at them. Buying MOG, I would stare at that chart every single day and be checking it way too frequently. Versus I literally have automated buys to my Coinbase of these alts that I like Near, Ton, a couple of these others, like even AVAX still right now, just selfishly because it's way easier for me to hold these over a long enough timeline. And the downside risk is significantly less. When a market sell-off occurs, you can exit alts and not lose as heavily. Like meme coins rise parabolically, but they also decline parabolically. And that's the thing, is it's a rush to the exit, like a Black Friday sale. Everyone storms to the door and it's stampeding over each other, ultimately causing you to have either massive slippage and lose. Like, you hold 60K of a meme coin, the likelihood of you selling it when it goes to 100K is slim, but the likelihood of you selling it when it goes to 40K is extremely high. If I hold 60K of Near, I'm comfortable watching those slower rises and slower falls because to me, it has more staying power. And I think the AI narrative is going to continue. Near is a perfect example of something that's partnered with NVIDIA. Its longevity outpaces, and that's the thing. So like for me, I just feel way more comfortable from a risk return portfolio. But don't get me wrong, like I love scalping meme coins and trading short-term volatility with smaller size because it keeps me in the trenches. It keeps me paying attention to this stuff.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But on that note, I was also looking at the top 100 meme coins by market, or sorry, the top 100 just tokens in general by market cap. Meme coins are starting to creep in there. As far as the top 100, how many of these? I mean, I would say almost all of them weren't even here 18 months ago or 12 months ago versus before it was like Dogecoin.
Study the .com bubble.
Look at these breakouts into the top 100.
Study the ICO bubble, study the .com bubble. Nobody buys the old stuff. They only buy the new stuff. It's because there's that opportunity cost. It's much easier to get that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x on a newer coin versus hoping something old that has had long time bag holders that drive price action down. There's people who bought Doge at 40 billion. There's people who bought SHIB at 20 billion. That's the issue, is you have those sellers that once it gets back there, they're way more likely to sell. Or they've averaged in and now have significantly larger holdings that will sell. Newer meme coins usually have a much stronger base of people to want to see how high it goes. And that's the thing that you got to kind of understand is when you look at old companies, the likelihood of a new company coming in and outpacing them, Pet.com is a perfect example. It was ahead of its time in the .com bubble, and now Chewy is absolutely dominating when it comes to pet delivery. You know, like that's the thing. History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. And I've always been an advocate for buying the new stuff over the old stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we'll still see how, for example, Doge performs this cycle. Look, we're going to wrap with this game show segment, Top Dog, which is our new favorite segment. This is week 2 of it. So every Friday we play Top Dog and we track the leaderboard for points. Here's how you play. You're provided with a scenario and a 1-week time frame, which is the 1-week time frame is the start of the show, 9 a.m. Eastern time every Friday. And you have to pick which scenario you feel is more likely to happen. For every scenario you correctly predict, you win 1 point. Last week's questions and resolutions were as followed. And by the way, we're tracking people in the audience too. So it's not just the participants of the show. We got a bunch of audience members that have been participating so far. So real quick, last week's questions and resolutions were as follows. Will the Ethereum ETF S1s be approved? The correct answer was no. Will Joe Biden still be the current Democratic nominee? Remember, that's this morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time, ladies and gentlemen. The correct answer was yes, he's still the nominee. Will NVIDIA reach another all-time high at any point in the coming week? Answer was no. Who will win the Euro Cup? This one was a thorn in my side. The answer was Spain. And Bitcoin over or under 60K? The correct answer was over. So if you look at the leaderboard, Bo Puppo, audience member Bo Puppo, and Bodago's Will, I should mention, and I believe more than one of one Bodago's holder, and Easy are in first place with 5 points. I would have been right there with them if England had taken home the goddamn Euro Cup. That was so stupid. We got Ghost Skater at 4 points, Ellie.jpg at 4 points, Ray, our in-house quant, at 3 points, Signal at 3, Roy, our audience member friend Roy, at 3, Clemente at 1, Kicks at 1, Greeny at 1, Mr. Yellow at 1. Where did things go off the rails for Clemente?
It was NVIDIA. It was Joe.
You said NVIDIA would be a 100, would be at an all-time high.
I was eating those ROM shill tweets like it was just hotcakes out there. So I was consuming too much NVIDIA propaganda, Joe Biden propaganda. It was a disaster. But this week I'm excited for. I'm locked in right now.
All right, so
I'm
look,
so
ladies,
I knew England would not win, but like you can't do that to your home team. Like inside, like I don't know, don't the Knicks lose all the time or something? And you have those people who are Knicks fans, and then you have this obligation to be like, you know, the Knicks are going to lose, but you have to say they're going to win. That's how I felt about England last week. I was like, Spain is a better team. They are the better team, and they were the better team on the night. But I had to pick England. But anyway, let's not look at the past. By the way, Clemente and I are inches of Biden not being the Democratic nominee. Inches, centimeters, I want to say. I feel like
close is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades, Signal.
1 week is a short 1 week's a short time frame for a new all-time high for a major, top 7 publicly traded company. That's a lot.
No, for the politics.
No,
I know that Biden is going to do literally between last week and now, we've had a failed assassination attempt along COVID. We are 2 centimeters off being right on this prediction. And I know he's going to drop out this weekend. That's what's going to happen. Everything's lining up
for
and
hand grenades.
Oh, shut up, Easy, with your 5 points.
1 week is a really tight time frame. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start reading this week's questions. So, if you're in the audience, okay, you have to bring in your response and don't spam the chat, right? Because then we just won't count your responses, and just have one response for each question. So, if you need to, it's not about like jamming on the answer within 2 seconds of me saying it, right? It's not about that. It's about having one response and not cheating. In other words, not bringing in the response way after. So, we're going to do a question, and then we're going to field some responses, chat about it for a second, and then we're going to move on to the next question. So you don't have to hammer the response. You can just casually say it, but just have one response, okay? And Ray, our quant, is saying give context around your response. So in other words, don't just say no or yes. Say, yes, Joe Biden will drop out, for example, or no, Joe Biden will not drop out. I think it's pretty straightforward, right? I think I've explained it pretty simply. I think you guys can all understand. You're all very smart people. So this week's questions, the time horizon is between now and 9 a.m. Eastern time next week, which on Friday, which is 1 week from today, the start of this show. First question, will Kamala Harris be the Democratic nominee? I'm going to say no. She will not be the Democratic nominee at at 9 a.m. Friday of next week. I'm going to say no. Clemente?
I'm going to go no as well.
Sig?
I'm going to go no as well.
Easy.
The answer is no. The DNC is not till August 19th.
All right. Hey, we don't know. We don't know. So I said no. So maybe this is the warm-up shot. People seem to think no. We'll see. So you guys can go ahead and put in your responses in the crowd. We're moving on to the next one. So this is, Clemente, this next one, this is a week's worth of inflows.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. This by this time next week, what will the inflows be?
Okay. Can we lower the number, Clemente?
Yeah. Oh,
Can we make it 500?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can we make it 300? 300.
Total across the whole week.
So ready? Check it out, guys.
7 days.
Ethereum ETF inflows. Okay. So there's an asterisk. The funds moving. So it's net new inflows. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
So was that inflows minus outflows?
So check it out. What it is the funds moving into ETH from Greyscales. So in other words, so hold on. We're going to come back to this one. I need to understand this Greyscale Ethereum ETF. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is inflows into the ETH ETF next week. The weird mechanic is this whole people getting out of ETH, which is the Greyscale trust that's converting to an ETF. So I just want to understand, let's just make it simple. The net inflows. So that includes the outflows from ETH.
Yeah, inflows minus outflows.
Okay, that's it. So I don't give a shit how many outflows there are. It's the net, okay? So over, under, I mean, dude, 300 million is a lot of money. Like, and this is
if you told me $1 billion, I'm going over.
You're going over. All right,
for
fine.
7 days. 7 days.
Well, it's not 7 days. It's
5 days.
Tuesday.
5 business days.
It's not even 5 business days because it's trading live on Tuesday. So it's 4 business days easy.
3
over.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday doesn't count.
It's 3 business days easy. You think there's going to be you think there's going to be $1 billion of inflows into the Ethereum ETF? This is not the Bitcoin ETF. This is the Ethereum ETF.
Yes, over 3 days, yes.
You think there's going to be $1 billion in inflows?
Week 1.
You want to
Week 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going
All right,
yes.
so we're going to stick with 300. We're going to stick with $300 million of net inflows. Easy's, that's an over because he's saying $1 billion. We're going to remember this $1 billion in 3 business days. Okay. Mine is, I'm going to say under 300 million. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to say under. Clemente?
I'm saying over, and I'm not selling my ETH.
Okay. Sig?
Strong.
I'm going to say over for 300 million.
Okay. This is going to be a hell of an ETF next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wednesday, and Thursday.
You're the only one fading, Pio.
I'm the only fader. And I'm happy to be wrong.
You think there'll be less than 300 million? You think there'll be less than 300 million in inflows in 3 days?
In net, that's my. I don't think that I'm being that unreasonable. Like that means that if there's $290 million of net inflows in 3 business days for the ETH ETF, that's brand new. By the way, I'll be plowing money into it with my mom's accounts, so I'm supporting the bet. I'm inflowing into the ETF. And anyone's entitled to their opinion. Nobody fucking knows this stuff. So the $1 billion is completely wild. And so I'm very excited to see the net inflows. This is 3 business days, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And this is just the ETF. This is in total Ethereum coin volume. But yeah, hey, here we go. 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let's see how many inflows there are. Will Trump, all right, next question. Here we go, guys. Will Trump mention Bitcoin as he will not have spoken by this time next week, guys. He's speaking next Saturday. So this does not work. So we're nixing that question. That one does not work. All right, next question. This is a good one. Which performs better on a percentage basis? The KAMA, the Kamala Harris Solana meme coin, or the Kama Democratic nominee bet on Polymarket? This is a good one. So this is you saying, should I buy the meme coin like Signal did and has and is holding? Should I buy that meme coin? Or should I make the Polymarket bet on Polygon for Kamala Harris's Democratic nomination? Real quick, let's look at what's the market cap on the meme coin right now, real quick.
13.1 million.
Okay. Oh, that's a juicy number right there, 13.1 million. So is it better to buy that right now at 13.1 million? Or is it better to go to Polymarket? And what is it? 58% chance. Wow. That means that if this 58% chance goes to 75% or 80%, you're basically getting a 50% gain, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to say the meme coin.
At 20 million.
I'm saying the meme coin.
I'm taking the Polymarket bet.
I'm also taking the Polymarket bet. Yeah.
I'm taking the meme coin.
Wow.
But not. I mean, obviously I hold it, but I'm so like I just don't care about it anymore at this point. But I just feel like in the next 7 days, the market reflex will be to go to the meme coin, not necessarily to run on Polymarket. But in the future, I think you would see this Polymarket would be probably the obvious choice. But in 7 days, I think the meme coin is the reflex.
This is one of the best ones that we've had on the show so far. This is a hard one. This is a hard one.
And 13 million, guys. 13 million.
Yeah, but it's Signal. If Biden drops out, that percentage chance is going to funnel into other and Kamala.
No, it won't. Yeah, Kamala. But we just like, I feel we know that Biden isn't outwardly supporting her as Easy was saying earlier. He's not like, I don't want Kamala, but he's not also I want Kamala, and that is bad. The fact that he's not I want Kamala is as bad as him saying I'm looking at other candidates for the job.
You made your pick. You don't have to try to sell Sig. Me and Sig made our picks. You made your pick. You don't know anything more than anybody else knows about this. Nobody fucking knows anything. You made your pick. We made our pick. It's an even split. No, 2 no's, 2 yeses. My bet is that the meme coin outperforms. That's my bet. That's it. So next one is the Mr. Miggles meme coin, the base meme coin that was just discussed on the show. Is it over or under $100 million in market cap by the end of next week? It's at what, 90 right now?
92. It's up more since we talked about it.
Okay. I guess I'm going to go over. Look at the fucking chart. I'm going to go over. Look at the chart.
Going higher.
Oh, everyone's saying
I'm no TA expert, but I'm gonna say higher.
I'm saying under on this one. Coinbase isn't talking about it. Their legal team is saying whatever that Paul guy's name is saying, hey guys, we got to slow down on the Miggles propaganda. Let's slow everything down on the commercials, all this stuff. I'm saying no, under 100 million.
Okay. So we got 3 yeses, 1 no. Okay. Very nice. Tommy DeAndrade is saying over by the end of the show today. He's bullish. He's saying it's going in the next 10 minutes. Well, we got some unders coming in, though. People aren't believers. People got unders. Okay. Ray wants us to ask the audience for a 5th. How about this? Audience members, send some scenarios. I mean, you know how the game is played. Please don't make it like, well, Ansem, like tweet about, like, make it big. Make it a bigger thing. Don't make it like super duper esoteric niche crypto Twitter. Nobody in the world knows what the hell this is. Make it like a bigger thing so a lot of people can participate, like all these different things that we're talking about. There was only one crypto or 1 or 2 crypto things here. Make it bigger. Okay. And I'm going to
do the Taylor Swift engagement.
It's not going to get engaged by
next
Friday. It's you got to think about all
You're
these
not popping
factors.
the question, Pio. You're not popping the question. How do you know?
Signal, think about
no.
It's a short time frame. I'm going to go pee. I'll be back, and we'll get some
let's
questions
get some
ready.
audience ideas.
You guys can fill the air.
Miguel is crazy. Nick stays single for another week is crazy.
Bigger, too small.
Yeah, we got to go bigger. I was thinking next week's is going to be really good because we got the Bitcoin conference. We got a Deadpool one. We got some Trump stuff we can do. We got the FOMC meeting. So it'll be juicy then. I was trying to come up with some stuff for this time around. It was tough. It's tough. I don't want to do.
People are talking about Biden versus lettuce. There's a poly market bet on that one.
What's
but I
that?
feel like we already have a political bet for this week, don't we? Sorry, didn't we just answer one for the politics?
We had the
Kamala Harris. Yeah.
Yeah. Bo Puppo Blast Jackpot that initially was on there. It's too niche. I think we got to go bigger. Other stuff. I was looking at like movies and stuff coming out. I was looking at some pop culture stuff. Stocks might be interesting. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else we could potentially do?
Ellie has, will Deadpool 3 make over or under 100 million on opening weekend?
Opening weekend's not till next week. Deadpool 3. I looked that one up. Deadpool's next Friday, or it's the 26th or something. Yeah. So I was looking at the lettuce one might be interesting. I
think we're gonna have to go with the moldy lettuce. Yeah.
We might have to go.
Can you pull it up, Clemente?
Yeah. So what's the story with the moldy lettuce here, Easy? I saw you tweeting about it.
So poly markets dropped. Will Biden drop before the lettuce sours, basically? Like, will the lettuce go bad before Biden drops out, which is a 10-day time period?
That's okay. Well, you're basically asking, will Biden drop out, right?
This weekend, yeah.
In the next 10 days, yeah.
No, 9 days, but yeah.
Is this American lettuce? What are we working with here?
That is a very good question.
Organic.
If it's an organic normal lettuce, that's going to decay in like 5 days, maybe a bit more. But if it's like an American lettuce with growth hormones and steroids in it, it could last until the end of the year.
I mean, it's been 24 hours. This thing looks good. I'm team. I feel like the consensus is going to be team lettuce, but that seems to be the consensus. Yeah, Pio, we've been struggling to come up with one. Next week's is going to be a lot easier, but
I gotcha. Okay. And I'm not going to influence this or rig it at all. Not going to influence it or rig it at all. This is a small one, but I think people appreciate it and think it's funny. Over under number of appearances from Nick on this show next week. Okay, that's kind of fun, right?
I like that.
Over under 2. And 2 is a push.
Over.
Well, okay.
Or no, for something like this, you need to do 2.5.
We should do
over under 2.
1.5.
1.5. 1.5. Over or under 1.5.
I feel like Pio and Easy have inside information on this that would put Clemente and I at a disadvantage. I just don't feel like this is a fair question.
I have no idea what Nick is going to do at any time ever. I have no insight into any action he's going to take. Nobody knows.
I think
and the rule is we can't ask him to be on the show. Just don't talk to him about the podcast. I don't talk to him about the podcast. I haven't said a word to him about the podcast all week.
Curveball. Curveball. Bitcoin Nashville next week. So things are going to be a little weird in there.
That's why I think he'll be on the show Thursday, Friday. He tends to have better hit rates at conferences.
Nashville
because he likes to yell about something that bothered him.
Pio's just genuinely like has no idea.
Ooh, question. If he's on the show Friday, does that count?
Why would it not count?
Because these conclude at 9 a.m. Friday. What if we start the show at 9:02?
He won't be on by then. You know he's not going to be on at the start at 9.
Then I got to go under.
He's not going to be on at 9.
So it's 4 shows.
When is the Bitcoin conference? Sorry, when is the Bitcoin conference? What date?
Wednesday to Saturday.
Yeah, we leave on Wednesday. So
our flight won't be on Wednesday.
Our flight is during the show Wednesday. So he will not be on Wednesday. He will not be on Wednesday.
I think there's 100% he's on Thursday. Friday is the big question.
But Friday doesn't count. Does Friday count or not?
What if he's in the back room at 8:59?
Yeah, that can count. If you take that bet, I think you're completely off base. He's not going to be in the room before 9. That's impossible. So there's literally
technically it's 8 a.m. there.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's count Friday's show then. Let's count Friday's show, even though
you guys can count it. I'm giving you the alpha here. He's not going to be on Friday. I'm giving you the alpha. So he's not going to be on Wednesday. He's not going to be on Friday. The bet is over or under 1.5. Has to be over or under 1.5. I guess I'm going to. So basically you're saying, is he going to come on Monday or Tuesday or Thursday? Is he going to be on once or twice is the bet. I'm just going to give you guys so you're saying, do I think he's going to be on once or do I think he's going to be on twice is what you're betting. Clemente, what's your bet?
I'm genuinely like
you're stumped.
I think over.
You're going to be on twice.
I think he's going to be on twice. I think he's going to pull it off. I believe in him. I believe in Nick. Over 1.5 is my answer.
Nobody can tell him about this bet. Don't tell him about the bet.
No.
He'll never find out unless people start tagging him.
Well, if he comes on like Monday's show though, and people are like gassing him up, saying he looks good, like all these things, he's gonna be fired up. He's gonna be like, okay, I feel really good. I'm gonna come back tomorrow.
Yeah, no funny business. Don't like do anything weird. It's hard, man. This is a hard one.
It's a good one. I'm going over 1.5.
You're gonna do 2.
I'm going over 1.5.
Sig, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go over. Yeah, I'm thinking he'll definitely come on at least once because of the conference, but it's that second one which is like, oh, I'm going to go 2. If Nick has a good weekend, maybe he's hanging out, having some fun, doing some things, he'll come on with good energy on Monday. So I'm going to go with twice. I think Tuesday he's busy packing. He needs to figure out what he's going to wear, what his hair's going to look like. I don't like Tuesday odds, but I like Monday and I like post-conference day. So I'm going to go twice.
So Herbivore I'm not saying Herbivore is wrong in his like results, but he's wrong in his logic. He said he's gonna feel bad he wasn't on this whole week. No, he's not. He's not gonna care at all.
Doesn't give a shit.
Even, like that's literally something that does not even cross his mind for a millisecond. So no, your logic is wrong. I'm not saying that your result is wrong, but your logic is wrong. He'll want to show the tan on Monday. Nick's actually afraid of going out in the sun for any material amount of time without sunscreen. So that's also incorrect, Antoine.
Does he have interesting plans, Nick, Pio, on this weekend? Does he have any interesting plans off the top of your head? Do you know?
Yeah, he's probably going to do some stuff. So that makes Monday. What's so funny, Clemente?
That makes Monday more likely. So I'm going with twice.
Analyzing Nick's life is so funny to me and like placing bets on it.
Bachelor Society has a very strong case here. If he happens to go to a store this weekend, like Todd Snyder or similar in New York, if he goes to a store, he will be purchasing clothes. He will purchase something 1,000%. He can't go into a store and not purchase anything. And if he purchases like a $200 button-down shirt, a short sleeve button-down, then he will want to showcase it on the show. And at this point, I think he showcased the last, call it $800 worth of shirts that he bought over the past 3 weeks. So I think, and the sunglasses also. So a new article of clothing would certainly inspire an appearance. Every article of clothing counted as an appearance because he's like, well, I got to showcase this shirt too. That's very good logic right there.
Very
That's
interesting.
Strong. That's strong. Physical therapy. I'm looking at his calendar. We'll look at his calendar.
He does it on Fridays.
I'm not seeing any physical therapy.
We don't have it yet. We don't have it yet because I'm sure he has it today. So he probably schedules it before he goes to try to recoup for the missed time.
He's not going to want me to disclose any physical therapy related calendar things, right? But let me say there's nothing that directly impacts his ability to come on the show. If Trader Fermi's asking any new injuries, this is also something that, like, has he hurt himself again? No new injuries to my knowledge.
No.
So yeah. So
Pio, it comes down to you. Over under. We're all over.
That's such a hard one.
The hardest thing here is Monday. If he's on Monday or Tuesday, it's going over.
He's not coming on Tuesday. He'll be packing.
Wednesday's a wash. We're counting Friday's show. If he's on Monday or Tuesday, I think he's there at least once during the conference because he's going to want to shit on something about Nashville, shit on something about the three of us. So he's on at least once in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
At least once. It all comes down to, is he going to be on Monday? This is the best bet we've had. Hands down. The logic in this is sound. We need a poly market because he doesn't look at that either. So that'd be great.
You guys all said over?
Yeah.
Over.
I guess this is a very hard one, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I'm just gonna go under.
Wow. Contrarian take.
I think he'll be on once.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
I'm gonna go under. Did
like
we
it.
record everybody's responses? Some pretty sound logic in the responses. Some not as good logic. Yeah. The Trump thing. I don't know about that logic either. We'll see. We will see. I'm just gonna go under. We got Null. Null's coming in under. We're gonna see. We got a Bachelor Society just coming in and saying Nick better show his face. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. I'm not going to do anything to rig this because I'm actually curious to see how it goes. I do feel like the likelihood of someone like 0 people in the audience going and bothering him and tagging him and saying, go check out the bet they made about you is slim because people really do love being like, he. I'm going to throw a wrench into this. You know what I mean? Like, it's real. Ibrahim talking about the shirts. You never know. You never know. I'm not going to rig it, but I feel like the audience could tag him on Twitter and be like, he. This is the bet. Clemente, what were we going to say?
Last point of clarification. It needs to be any appearance and camera. His face needs to show on the show. It doesn't
audio
need to be
only does not count.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd do audio only.
He's done it once or twice. It's very
in
seldom.
Nashville, he could from like his bed. So audio only doesn't count.
Yeah, we need the rule set. Audio only doesn't count. Have to see the face.
Audio has to count.
No.
Because he wants to come on it. So he'll be in Nashville. He'll get all the goss. He'll want to talk about like the weirdos
audio
and
the
women and all that. It has to count. We have to count audio.
Nope. Audio does not count.
If audio doesn't count, he's not going to bring a camera.
Then I'm changing to under. If audio doesn't count, I'm changing to under.
That's fine. Okay. Audio does not count.
So easy. Right. You're basically betting that he's going to have a camera set
one camera in
Nashville.
No.
I think he joins one of our rooms to be on the show. That's the intangible. Yes. Call me crazy. I think he's going to have a bad night's sleep. He's going to be up since 5. He's going to be angry.
All right. I'm staying with under. If audio doesn't, regardless, I was already under. Audio doesn't count. We have some votes changing in the audience about audio not counting. So yes. So there you go. And we're not going to rig this. I'm worried about an audience member tagging him with the he comment, but we'll see. Just leave him alone. Just don't bother him about it. I just genuinely want to see how this plays out. My vote's been under. So wait, did Kamala on Soul? No, it was 12 million during the show. Yeah, there's no dump.
I mean, it's dumped historically, but not the show has not had any price action on it. Oh.
Trader Fermi with some very direct commentary here. I'm not going to comment on it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Friday, July 19th, that's our show. Next week, we'll be on Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time, each and every day. The show's available on every podcasting platform, Apple and Spotify podcasts, YouTube. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you give us some tweet comments, get the Twitter engagement up on the X platform video and Twitter spaces. And of course, if you want to listen on the go, audio podcast is always an option. Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your information. Thanks for listening. We will catch you guys next week. Clemente, please close us out, with a nice little track.